Several months ago, I put out a video that was titled I'm Done. And ultimately, the general message was a revelation of what the state of the church is in the United States and around the world. And essentially my declaration of I'm done playing church. I'm not interested in the Sunday show. I'm interested in being the hands and feet of Jesus Christ as the church was meant to be and be about my Father's business. And what I found out when I put that video out was tens and tens of thousands of people from around the world were all saying, me too. My church in Australia, my church in New York, my church in Tennessee, my church in Mexico, like my church everywhere in the world, people are seeing the exact same thing. And then it was about a month later, I put out a video, said it's time. I was saying, well, then let's do something about it. You know, if you're in, send me an email, say you're in. And thousands of people sent me an email, and it really felt like I kind of opened up something that was too big for me, much too big for me, that I knew God had to be in it. And so I cherished that, and I begged God, well, what do you want me to do? I'm not going to do anything until you tell me to do something. And I realized that I needed to go out and talk to people, and I asked God, well, where do you want me to go? And he said, I want you to go to Wyoming. And I know that's so because right when I spoke the words, God, where do you want me to go? I was invited on a mission trip to Wyoming, which I did not want to go on. But I knew that that's what God had for me. And then a bunch of us met at Curt Gowdy State Park. It was a beautiful moment. But all of us, we're trying to figure out, well, what is it we're doing here? Like, what are we doing? And ultimately, God showed us Matthew 22. It's inviting people to the wedding feast. The king sent out invites. And the people, the church, declined. They're too busy with work, is what Matthew 22 tells us. So then he sent out for others off the streets, and it's a very complicated situation. But ultimately, I and thousands of others believe what God is doing is just like he said in his word. He has scattered the remnant. Those who stand up for Jesus Christ are scattered around the world. And he is bringing them together for his coming of his son, Jesus Christ, just like he said he was. And this is part of that. So then we pause. God, what do we do next? And so he said he had to get travel around the country. So I went west, had a meeting in Montana, the coast of Oregon, Los Angeles, and Arizona. So what's next? What's next? Well, there's a couple things. One, now we got to head south and then east. So I'm planning the next trip. It'll be around the spring. I'm going to head south. I'm going to make 2 stops in Texas, 1 stop either in Alabama or Mississippi, and then head north into Nashville and then head home. And then another trip I'm going to head east into like Ohio, Pennsylvania, Carolinas, maybe New England. But in addition to that, I believe what God is asking us to do is to congregate 3 times a year. So once a year, I'm going to travel west, south, and east and meet with everybody that is a part of this remnant that is in those areas. Then I'm also going to invite you to come to the Ozarks, to Camdenton. This is probably going to be in the spring as well. And then at the end of the summer, I'm going to go back to Curt Gowdy and invite everybody to come there. So essentially, 3 congregations are going to be traveling the country, Ozarks, and Wyoming. And I'm going to encourage everybody to go to as many of those as they can. But that's really what's next. That's what God's asking. And talking to these people, we see this as a movement. It's something different. God is moving, and I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're in China. I don't care if you're an atheist. I don't care if you're at the southern tip of South America or in Antarctica. Everybody in the world knows that God has brought us into a new season. Even if you're an atheist, you know we are in a new season. We all know it. The world knows it. And there is a remnant of God's people who are going to stand up to bring in the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. And that is what this is all about. So again, if you're in those southern states, eastern states, I'm going to be doing a visit here in the next few months. I'm also going to ask everybody, come to the Ozarks. It's beautiful there. You love it. And then we'll meet in Wyoming once a year as well. So, and I believe that every year it's just going to grow more and more and more. And then we will be a part of a community of believers who are ready to stand up for Jesus Christ in the face of adversity during the times of tribulations. Love to hear your thoughts on all that. Put it in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. If you feel called to support this channel to Patreon, that link is also below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests, so never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.